Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining our free online lesson. My name is Nabi Fikri Minshazan, an application engineer from Acad system. So for today's topic, we will take a look at the new features which has been introduced with us in the Inventor 2024. Right. So over here, what I have here is the list of the new features. So I have separated into 4 different sections. One is the part design, so we're going to take at the assembly, and some on the 3D annotation and also on the drawing. So let's take a look at the first thing is at the part design, which is a mark features. So let me just open one example file. Right, so mark features has been added inside of the Inventor for the last new features, right? So the last version. So there has been added a few improvements which allow for the wrapping. So for example, if you have a text that you like to wrap that particular mark onto this object, into a curved object. So for that case, you can use mark features from that. So let me just open up the my sketch. So right now I have a sketch features over here, and I would like to mark the sketch into my object over here. So right away I can click at the mark tools over here, and over here I can click at the object, which is the things that I would like to mark, and it will project it into my object over here. Right, so we have different alternatives. So new updates, which is methods. You can actually lay out as a project, or you can also wrap into the object, and you have something like this. So I can click, and I press OK, and you have a wrap instead. So that is the first new updates onto the mark features. So the second updates that we have here is the finish feature. So I believe finish features is the biggest new updates, which adding a new tools which allow you to specify the manufacturing process, which is at the end, which is the finish process. So let me just show you another example. Now, let's say if I need to manufacture this object. So this is the product that I have designed, and I can specify the materials and also the appearance. However, it does not tell you much information about this appearance or material that you have, except that its colors and also the physical properties. But over here, a new features has been added, which is the finish features. So finish features also almost the same with the material. However, it's telling you what type of process that has been done, which is this finishing object. So I can click at this finish features, and currently we have a few types of features that we can select from here, type of finishing. So the first thing is I can select my faces. So for this case, I'm going to select all of the face, and I can specify the type. So currently I have one which is appearance, so which allow you to change the appearance or color. So next one, we have the material coating. So if I would like to create some coating, so I can apply finishing. So it will give you more information about the coating process that need to be done for this, right? Or the next one is the heat treatment. So I can apply some heat treatments, maybe surface texture, or I can simply apply painting. So for this case, I'm going to apply heat treatment. I can select heat treatment. I can select some of these informations that I can input. If I select gas hardening, I can specify the appearance for this process. Let's say I'm going to apply black gas, or maybe let's say I'm going to select, let's say blue yellow, something like that for the case study. So I can press OK, and the new folder has been appeared. So finish over here. So I have created a finishing, which is the heat treatment. Right. So after the heat treatments, other finishing process that I need to do. So maybe I need to apply painting. Right. So I need to paint this one. So I can go ahead and add, and again, I can select apply paint. I can select all of this, and I can specify what type of paint that I want. So maybe I want to apply red paint. Right, so you can see you can specify and select some of these information over here. Right, so once I'm done, I can just press OK, and another finishing has been added inside of this folder. So you can also this finishing also supported by the model states. So if I would like to create a few model states which specify what type of process, so the complete one, which is the default one. So after finish refurbish this item, so I want to apply heat treatment, so I can just unsuppress the heat treatment, and lastly will be the paint, so I can just unsuppress this too. Right, so this finishing information that we added also will be appear under the parameter. So if I take a look at the parameters, I can just scroll down, and then you see we have the finish parameter, which is actually created from the finish material there. Right? So there are some full information, so you can edit the information if you want to. Right? So everything can be found from here. And you can also export out as an Excel file. So you have more information about what type of process that need to be done after finish creating this object. So that is the finish features. So the next new updates that we have under the view, which is a few things that you can do from the view, which is the first one is the section view. So a new update has been done. So it adds some rotations and so on. So let's take a look at the view. Right, so I have this particular object over here, and I'll go to the view, and let's say I would like to create some section. So here, so I still have several section view. So I'm going to start with the half section. I can select this from face over here. You can apply and move back just to create a cut section. And I have additional settings, which is rotate over here. So I can select rotate. I can also adjust my rotational sections over here. So that is the section view. So this one is also supported under view. So let's say if I want to create a new view, which is for sections, and I can basically save under this particular view. Right, so I have the asymmetric view, right view, I can go to the section view, and this view has been saved under this section view. Right, so other things that has been edited from here as well. Right, so I can go and edit directly from the view section here. Edit, and I can flip it around, and I can also toggle the cap, right? So if I want to see this small dot dash, I can just turn on and off. Right, so that is the section view under the view. So other things that the view has been updated is the visual styles. Let me just back to default. So you can select and change different type of visual styles, but if you want to save a default visual style, so whenever you open up a new drawing, so it will select either of this. So a new update has been done that it also allowed to change for this type of view. So orthographic view, perspective, and also auto view. So once you open up your Inventor, so it will select either of this that you have set. So to set that one, you can go to the tools, you can go to the application options, and it should be under display. By default, it will be using use document settings. So you can select use application settings. And from here, you can select your visual styles. And the new things that has been added is the projection. So I can select different type of projection view that I want from here. Last thing for the view updates that has been added is you can add easily the HDR image from the lighting settings from here. So from the light, I can change to different settings, maybe 2 lights, maybe 1 light, right? Or maybe dark skies. If I want to have a background image, I can select some of these, such as, I believe that will be old warehouse, right? So this image has been already been created and provided by Autodesk. So if you would like to create or add more backgrounds which created from third party, so you can basically add from the setting here. So I'm going to go to the settings, and from here I'm just going to create a new, and currently is still using the old warehouse over here. So I want to upload some HDR image that I have downloaded from some website, and that particular image can easily be added inside of your part files or even assembly files. So let me just find the applications. Now I have 3 different HDR images, so I'm just gonna go with this one. So once I'm done, I can just press OK, and the new image has been added from here. Right, so you can see it's easier to create and add HDR image from. Right, so that is a bit on the view and the graphic enhancements for the HDR. So the next updates that we have on Inventor 2024 is the oriented minimum bounding box. So the bounding box already being introduced under the simplify. So it's now being added under derive as well. And you can now use oriented. Right, so the oriented is a new update. Let's take a look first. So let's say, let me just change this background first. Now, let's say if I would like to add some derive, basically I want to add some object over here, so I can use derive, right? And let's say if I use this object here, right? So let me just undo that one first. So I need to move this at the back because it is interfering with the object. I can use derive to add reference files. Right. So from here, you can see directly. So the file has been added from here. So if I don't want to see the actual object over here, maybe I just only want to see the representation space. So for that case, I can change to bounding box instead. From here, I can just toggle and I can change to bounding box here. So when I press OK, it has become a block. Right. So there are other updates which also allow for the oriented. So let me show you another example. So if I am an object like this and I would like to simplify the objects into a blocks or bounding box, so I can click and use simplify. So right now you can see we have 2 different blocks over here. Both of these is actually at the same size. However, the left side is slightly oriented around 45 degrees. So if I use simplify, so currently it's simplified everything, so including this object over here. So when I use simplify, I can replace with the envelope over here, which is the bounding box. All basically is going to convert into all, and the new things has been added over here is that it will record the size for this bounding box, so you can just copy the value over here. The next thing is the type of envelope is to oriented minimum bounding box. So let me show you the example. If I select this package, now you can see right here that we have 2 objects which is supposed to be the same size. However, when I change into the envelope bounding box, the left one becomes slightly larger because of the size of it. Let's try to make the blocks X, Y, and Z. aligned. So a new thing has been changed is the oriented. So it will try to find the exact size and try to reduce more size. So you have more precise volume of this object, right? So for example, if I have this object over here, so you can see that this object consumes many area, right? So with the oriented bounding box, so the object is more precise, right? So you're able to protect your IP, but you can also change the types of the envelope to be more precise at the same time, right? So that is the envelope bounding box. Right, so the next updates that we have under the assembly as well, which is the tube and pipe. So the new update that you can do under tube and pipe is that you can add a specific custom angles. Right, so previously when you use tube and pipe, you were only able to use at 45 degree and also 90 degree only. But with this custom elbow, it's allowing you to add different angles. So from here, I would like to create a tube and pipe. So I will go to environment and create tube and pipe from here. And I can click the new route. Now, before proceed any further, so I can create a new tube and pipe styles. Right, so let's say from here, and I want to have one which is customizable. So for this case, I can click a copy, and I'm going to use the copy instead, and I can select, pick the custom elbow from here. And I need to make sure that the custom elbow is being selected. So I can just double click to select the item for the custom elbow. So I may want to change the diameter first, so I can just find from here. And then I can just double click and select the custom elbow from here. Now, the custom elbow will be appear over here. So if I would like to see much more clear, I can change the color of this custom elbow. So let's say I'm gonna go with the blue color. Sorry about that. Right, so I'm going to go with the blue color. So I can save. Once I've saved, I'm able to use this object now. Let me just close this and right now I can use route. I can select this area over here to create my tube and pipe. So I can specify the direction that I want. And to change the direction, I'm able to change to the left and right. Right, so I can change left and right. If I want to have an angle, so I can select this arrow over here, and it will change to 45-degree angle. But that is the area that you have. So I want to have a custom one, which able to allow me to select a custom angle. So for this case, you can select bend radius. So I can take the bend radius from here, and I can change different angles that I want. So maybe I want to go with something around 30 or maybe 25. And I can continue to add some more around 20. So I can change to different angle radius. So once I'm done, so I can just pick here just for finalizing. So once I'm done, I can just press OK and finish my route. And then you will see the default elbow is right over here, but the custom one is actually over here. So you can see the custom elbow has been added here. Right, so that is the new features under the tube and pipe, so which you can now create a custom elbow. All right, so the next updates that we have is the 3D annotation. So there are few 3D annotations that has been added. So if I take a look over here, to add 3D annotations, I can go to the annotate over here. And I can select dimensions just to add a 3D annotation from here, and add somewhere around here, and so on. Now, new things that has been added. So when you click the dimensions, you are able to apply. Let me just do that one. So let's say if I apply some dimension over here. Now, what you can add here now, you can specify this require an envelope. So I can just tick over here. So the symbol has been added. So this is some of the new features. Other things that has been added over here is the under tolerance features. Is that allow you to select whether you want this to be full round or something like that. Right. So once I click over here, profile on the surface, I can specify whether I want this to be all round or all over. Right. So all around has been added under the previous updates. If I want, I can select all over. So the all over is the new updates for 2024. And the other annotations updates has been added over here is the welding symbol. So now you can add welding symbols under the 3D annotations. So I can find the welding symbol from here. Then I can select the edges or the faces to add the weldment symbol. Or have something like this symbol. Right, so you can add another symbol over here. If I want to, I can just right click to toggles the directions, and I have this quite almost the same interface with the under the well environment. So I can just adjust the settings from here. So I have this well symbol. And of course, these well symbols, the new features has been added. You can bring this 3D annotation directly into a 2D drawing. So I can just right click the object over here, and I can select create drawing view. And over here, I can select the drawing that I want, and it will bring me to this drawing view. So to add the drawing annotation, so I can select, I need to select the view that I want from here. So I'm going to go with isometric view. And from the gear icon, I can select include 3D annotations. And the 3D annotations that we have added before has been added over here as well. So you can see there are welding symbols also has been added. So you don't actually need to go to the weld assembly in order to have this inside of drawing tools. Right, so you can just directly use from the part files or even the assembly files without going through the weld assembly. Right. So that is a bit on the 3D annotations. And under the drawing environment, so there are also a few updates for the drawing here. The first thing will be the customized schemes, which allow you to edit the colors, more specifically the color of sketch. Now, if I go to the sketch here, I can sketch anything inside of this object here. Right, so I can sketch something from here. But the problem that we have over here is that the color is yellow, so not very clear to see. We can change this from the tools environments on the application options. So I can go to the color and I can go to the color scheme. So this is where you can change several types of color. So for this case, we're going to change the sketch color. So this sketch color is being added recently under the new features. And then we have sketch preview and under constraints curve. So for the preview, I want this to show as a red, so easy for me to see what I've been drawing. And the actual sketch itself, I'm going to select, let's say, a dark green. So once I'm done, so I will have this dark green as a sketch again. That's okay. So you can see it is now turned into dark green. So if I sketch again, you can see it's sketch using red color lines. So once the sketch has been done, it's become green color. Right, so that is one of the few features under the drawing environment. The next features that we have, which mostly requested, is the revision cloud. So you can now add revision clouds using this Inventor drawing. So for this case, let's say I'm going to add more drawing. So I'm going to go to the base, and let's say I'm going to select an object like this, for example. All right, so I have an object like this. And what I have to do is that I would like to make some notes which require me to add a cloud, right? Revision cloud. So I can go to the annotate here, and the new revision cloud has been added under revision. So I can select revision clouds, and I can specify the locations that I want my cloud to. So the revision cloud can be edited easily. So I can just right click and create, and I click again. So I have the few buttons just to edit the area. So I can add or remove the points. So when I click, I can add or delete the vertex. And if I would like to, maybe this one is under editing tools, and I would like to show that this is currently under process, I can right click and select invert, which indicate I'm actually working on this update. So that will be the revision clouds. The last few updates under the drawing enhancement. So the Inventor have added a few minor updates. So for this case, let's say I'm going to open this object here. So I'm going to create a tree drawing. Right. So a few updates that has been added over here is the BOM list or the part list. So if they go to annotate here, you can add part list, and the part list will be added under the design history over here. So if I click part list, I can select the object that I want to list down the BOM list and press OK. BOM list has been added, and the BOM list will part list will be added over here as well. So if I want to edit, so I don't necessarily need to edit this one. I can just directly edit from here as well. Also, right. So that is some of the minor things has been added. Other things that has been added here as well is the ability to add sheet name under the text. So currently I have this sheet here, and if I change the name, let's say to company standard, for example, and I would like to have my sheet name under text. So if I go to the text here, and that particular sheet name can be added from here. So you can select the sheet properties, and from here I can add the sheet name. So I have created over here. So if I go here and edit the name, say one, for example, so it will be updated as well. And the last thing that has been updated under the drawing here is Autodesk has added the H symbol. So you can use H symbol under Inventor drawing. So I can select H symbols, I select the area that I would like to the symbol to be appear, and I have a few informations or properties that I can change how that I would like to see these objects. So if I don't want directly to put over here, I can also put it directly on top of my object over here. So that is the new features under Inventor 2024. So that's pretty much it for these sessions. So thank you everyone for joining this free online lesson, and I hope I can see you guys again on our next lesson. So thank you everyone, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.